Well, we have new details tonight on the arrest of fitness influencer Wesley Watson. Watson now behind bars on domestic violence charges against at least one woman. And Local 10's Brett Neese has been following this investigation. He is joining us live now in Fort Lauderdale with the very latest. Brett.
Janice, these are very serious charges. One of them is false imprisonment because police say he wouldn't let the victim leave the home after all of this took place. Now he remains in jail tonight, saddled with a $115,000 bond. 42-year-old Wesley Watson stands before a judge after police say he severely beat his girlfriend of just a couple of months.
So we're here on 5 counts for Mr. Watson.
Watson was in bond court on Thursday facing several charges, with the state laid out even more details about what happened early Sunday morning.
He had his own personal employees threaten her. He had his own personal employees oversee her to see what she was doing on the phone, Your Honor. I think there's even made reference to the victim that she effectively felt like she was being held hostage.
The fitness influencer has nearly 40,000 followers on Instagram and boasts a fitness coaching program online that promises people to, quote, become the man you admire. The 6-page arrest report lists out very disturbing allegations against Watson. The report says during the fight, quote, the defendant then grabbed her with his right hand by her hair and then slammed her head down into the kitchen table. That opened up a gash on the victim's head. The report also says he choked her and threatened her life and her family's lives.
Your Honor, this is not the first or second time that violence has been alleged against Mr. Watson.
We are also learning more about charges that Watson is facing down in Miami-Dade County. He was out on bond for those charges. We're also working to learn more about his criminal history. As soon as we get more details, we'll pass it along. Live in Fort Lauderdale, Brett Neese, Local 10 News.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another episode of Nerd Chronicles, which hosts the socially awkward nerd Christian Paul speaking. And ladies and gentlemen, I finally have the opportunity to dig into another pseudo-alpha guru by the name of Mr. Wes Watson. Okay? Many of y'all been hearing about him based on his viral clips, him acting a fool, showing off high-value bullshit. And also, he has been recently charged with 5 felonies in relation to his assault on his now ex-fiancée as of recent. So, the block has been hot regarding the rise and fall of Mr. Wes Watson. He has been caught in a lot of calamity as well as a lot of controversy in regards to due to his ratchetivity. And we are going to dig everything about this guy as to why this douchebag is literally illegitimate to the T and why he needs to be stayed away from because he is legitimately violent and he can literally whip anyone's ass. So let's go with the backstory of who Mr. Wesley Watson is.
Hey, am I 5'8"? Am I 5'8"? Get the f*** out of here.
That's what I want to find out.
If I saw that guy in person, I'd be like, dude, you are classic.
Have him come to where I go to the gym and we'll just do a friendly stand by each other and just document it.
Jesus f***ing Christ. Look at this stud over here. Why?
What's your name, man?
WW Dago. All the motherfuckers know that's Wes Watson from San Diego.
You trying to live off my name. Hey, am I 5'8"? Am I 5'8"? Get the f*** out of here.
That's what I want to find out.
Get out of here, yo. I will murk your bitch, yo.
For what?
Like you acting like a bitch. Come up here starting problems.
You made a story yesterday.
Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get the f*** out of here, yo. I'll break your face down. Please go tell me that I'm not 5'8". Your chain off your neck. You came over here for some heat, yo. What's up?
We did it.
Then what the f*** you come over here for?
The big friends.
You made a story saying to check his height. He said it would be friendly.
I'll break your face on me.
So ladies and gentlemen, who is Mr. Wes Watson? Or shall I say Mr. Wesley Watson? Mr. Watson here, okay? They have a good rap sheet, and he definitely admits this in his early YouTube videos under his YouTube channel. And basically, he has about over 600,000 followers, and we already know about the recent charge. But we want to make sure that we get his background right to get to know this pseudo alpha guru. Basically a San Diego native, as a surfer and a skater who started dealing with weed at the age of 14. And he ended up serving literally around 10 years for assault, battery, and charges related to the incidents in regards to a home invasion in the San Diego area, in which he was serving time from around 2008, 2009 through 2018. And that's when he started doing the YouTube content. He ended up actually just realigning with Big Herc, speaking his side of the story, building his platform up, and building his, pseudo fitness platform. We're gonna actually dig into that as well in regards to his program that like a lot of people be talking about as well. So we're gonna actually just dig further into the case and actually go skim through the actual open case that's available to the public that actually took place in the 7th District of California, specifically San Diego County. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have an actual filing that actually took place around April of 2014 regarding basically Wes Watson versus Jeffrey Beard and the 7th District of California, in which they had a report and recommendation of the U.S. Magistrate Judge regarding the petition for writ of habeas corpus in the courts. So he's currently a prisoner up in San Diego County. I don't know where he's serving prison within the state of California. Not my problem, not my issue. You know what I'm saying? They're raising 2 grounds for release regarding the bail and petition. And basically he was eliciting that he sold weed and all this stuff. So it shows confirmation that he did serve time literally up in a California jail, right? So basically this happened around mid to late October 2029, in which the victim, Ruben Carvajal, all of this is definitely documented in the public, he was involved in buying weed from Tinoa Bloom, and around that time he obtained some weed from Jeffrey Vujic and fronted to Carvajal, being Carvajal did not mean he paid Bloom for delivery. And they basically, Carvajal owed Bloom 5 to 6 racks, right? So we see all the stuff that you see mainly here. I don't want to try and read too much into that because I want to try and see how Mr. Watson is involved. So they brought it in to bring weed from LA to San Diego on November 27th, 2009. Blues Train used a falsely running room at the Carlsbad Motel, the LA area. San Diego area, excuse me, and Bloom gave the friend cash to rent the room, blah, blah, blah. And they rendezvous Bloom at 7-Eleven store that they came out. Now, 7 p.m. comes in around 7:20. Carvajal, after Carvajal and Bloom around the motel. The other guy, Vujic and Wes Watson, arrived and knocked on the door. And Bloom answered, invited him inside. Carvajal sat on the bed while Bloom negotiated with Vujic about the weed. Wes asked Carvajal if there's more weed inside, and Carvajal implied there was more in L.A., and then Watson then attacked Carvajal, poaching him and choking him out as he took him to the ground. And Watson asked Vujic for help, and Vujic then joined the assault by killing Carvajal. It's basically like a game beating, if you will, right? Bloom did not come to the aid of Carvajal, in which he lost consciousness and we woke. All of his weed was mainly stolen, and that's how the police were mainly called. And as a result, basically he ended up serving like around 9 to 10 years in prison. And you see all of the information that was there, in which Wes Watson was actually convicted of the assault, battery, as well as robbery, in which he was literally serving time. He got out, he completed his sentence, literally the whole 9 yards. Now, ever since Wes Watson got himself out of prison, he's been rebuilding his YouTube content, talking about prison stories. He's been living with his parents and grandparents. Really had to have very humble living arrangements, humble abodes, until he actually started having the popularity of, YouTube subscribers and fame, so much that he ended up moving to Miami. And that's when he became more arrogant. And then according to others actually been around Wes Watson, he's been literally roided up definitely ever since. And that's when he mainly started through his fitness program. We're going to actually try and get with that and see and actually dig into that program literally right about now. Ladies and gentlemen, this right here is the YouTube channel of Mr. Wesley Watson. All right, so let's go look into his fitness program. Well, I guess the fitness program that he had is no longer here. I take that back. And notice, even if I do go to his site with his program, you can't even go on anymore. So you already know the situation with his fitness stuff is just a literal red flag. He looking horrible now. Now let's go fast forward down today in which what charges that Mr. Wes Watson is currently dealing with.
Coming up 10, we are seeing new video showing the moments a well-known fitness influencer was caught by cops.
He's facing a number of charges after police say he beat up his girlfriend. And Local 10's Rosh Lowe live in Hallandale Beach with this exclusive story tonight. Rosh.
This guy has a massive following in part because people are fascinated by his story. 2009, he goes to prison for, among other things, robbery, gets out in 2018, gets sober, creates this fitness brand, but now we're being brought back to March 17th when he was arrested for allegedly beating up his girlfriend, and was so vicious, say police, she had bruises all over her body.
Come on up. Sir, step out of the vehicle. Sir, I'm not going to ask you.
Wes Watson has made his name with viral videos. This fitness influencer is now on video as Hallandale Beach police go to arrest him March 17th. And for the first time, we're seeing that video.
What is this about? What's this about?
Two things. One is we need to serve a restraining order on you.
What's the restraining order?
What's that?
What's the restraining order? What's the restraining order? Everything will be
Domestic violence restraining order.
Police say he beat his girlfriend, including forcibly slamming her head into a table. According to the police report, it was all because she went to a Miami Heat game without Watson and wore a shirt that showed cleavage. Police say he said he paid for her breast implants, that she was disrespectful for having them out, also accused her of cheating on him, cops say.
She's trying to get money from you guys. Okay. I have the screenshots. I have screenshots. Hey, call my lawyer.
Where did he reach him?
Watson was out on bond for allegedly taking part in a violent fight in Miami when investigators say he left his girlfriend with bruises all over her body.
I bought her some and I have a screenshot of it.
He boasts a fitness coaching program online that promises people to become the man you admire. More video of him being cuffed, pleading with the officers.
You know they do this. Bro, you know they do this, right? Hey, you guys, hey, officer, you guys know they do this. These chicks set my up.
Now, what's also interesting here is that Watson remains behind bars. The reason for that, and I mentioned this in the story, he was out on bond for another case in Miami that involved aggression and beating someone up. So now he's there behind bars as he faces these new charges. We're live tonight in Hallandale Beach. I'm Rosh Lowe, Local 10 News.
Juicy! So, ladies and gentlemen, we have the rap sheet of Mr. Wesley Watson. And let me actually just try and slow myself down so y'all can see this in full detail, ladies and gentlemen. So bear with me as I get everything edited here. And you see all these charges, okay? I'm actually going to put myself up to the right so that we can see what the heck is going on. So 5 felony charges, okay, that took place on March 17th, 2026. And you already see Wesley's date of birth right here. November 26, 1983. Took place in, definitely the arrest took place in definitely Broward County. Obviously, his height is literally 6 feet approximately. Charge 1, robbery by sudden snatch with firearm or weapon. Charge 2, felony battery, assault on his fiance, okay? Charge 3, aggravated assault with intent to commit a felony, day violation, domestic violence. Charge 4, tampering with hindering delay within community to L or whatever it is. Charge 5, false imprisonment person, that's definitely ex-fiance. Charge 6, out of county hold for a felony. And the hold that stems from Dade County in Miami. Okay, so charge all respective charges, respective bonds are $10,000, $25,000, $15,000, another $15,000, another $50,000. Totaling all of that up is literally going to be a 115 rack bail We don't know if it's going to be all cash, or we don't know if he's going to put down 10%. But this is the chaos that Mr. Wes Watson is literally in. More than likely, this whole situation definitely involved the current relationship with his now ex-fiancée, Angie Catalano. Okay, I'm not going to actually just dig too deep on where she's at and where she's currently there, because obviously it's still an ongoing case, and obviously she's an alleged victim in all of this. And I want to try and be thoroughly sensitive in regards to this as much as I can, actually give information for any domestic violence survivor out there, male or female, that is actually going through this traumatic time. So I want to try and keep this very, very minimal in regards with Angie. But mind you, he was out here literally controlling his word beans. He was out literally providing for Angie's boob surgery, the whole 9 yards. Actually, let me take that back. Angie, if I mistakenly put you in there, I truly apologize. Now they're saying it's reports as Megan Escobedo. Please forgive me, Angie, if I put your name out in there. I truly apologize. Megan Escobedo was the alleged victim, but we don't really thoroughly know about the specific victim in the case. Let me not actually just go dig deep into that, because it's not my place. My concern is mainly Wes Watson, okay? And basically the alleged victim here, he was actually upset with the victim due to the fact that he was concerned about her attire that she was dressing for the Miami Heat game, but yet homeboy paid for her boob reconstruction surgery, making her tits bigger and everything, trying to make everything like all wild to the core. That's the real hypocrisy of this. And because he felt disrespected and basically threatened her, claiming that he owns her, a lot of abusive narcissistic behavior due to the fact that he paid for the implants. But obviously there's going to be being liable to trash when you actually put the implants in regards of what type of clothes he wear or anything else, regardless of like what types of stuff he wears. If the boobs are actually going to be far out and actually being shown, the breast implants are going to be shown regardless. But homeboy don't see that, but homeboy's just very hypocritical in his own way, because in her minds, he wants her all to himself, and he's deeply insecure about somebody that's going to come by and actually just swoop them over. If homeboy actually really secure with himself, he won't have to worry too much about her actually just walking around being decent however she wants to dress. You know what I'm saying? If they actually do cheat eventually, and he actually catch them cheating, then fine. Leave her ass, walk away, just move on. But this is just utterly ridiculous. And I go into this information, and again, this is alleged on what I'm actually hearing, but this is just beyond ridiculous. And mind you, he has a previous case, okay? A literal previous case on his hands. And I believe it's still loading definitely at the moment. But he has a previous case in which he actually was charged with assault in regards to someone with a learning disability, somebody who's autistic, acting like they really want to be a tough guy. So is this motherfucker really your alpha guru? Is he really that motherfucker? That's what I want to know.
And this footage that I'm looking at right here on my screen, we thought the other one was brutal. It's nothing like this one. Do you know how many strikes there were in this video? Over 65. This is where the footage got cut off. After he hit him 2 times with that weight belt, right, in the face, holding him down to prevent him from getting up. This whole time, Wes hit him with 54 punches by not just Wes Watson, but of the guys around him too, holding him down with this little dumbbell in his hand. You see him with that little dumbbell while Wes is on top? So it turns out in this situation, he used weapons and he had his goons.
And this is the previous case at the trial is still ongoing, okay, from last year, okay, that we are definitely reviewing based on the encounter that we see here. And Ibrahim is basically the alleged man as dealing with a learning disability in regards with that. But yet Wes is claiming self-defense, and surveillance footage of the altercation was later posted where it went viral, and the man was being kicked, dragged by the hair, and so multiple times while pinned to the ground. That trial, ladies and gentlemen, is literally still ongoing. And mind you, he's still actually following content literally to this day in regards to this, okay? So these charges, felonies that he's dealing with, could literally get him sent up in a Florida state prison for years, okay? Possibly decades if he's found guilty on all of them. You know what I'm saying? And after seeing some of the stuff that's been going on regarding this YouTuber's name here, if I'm able to try to look into the phone, I know she served prison for heroin addiction, if I'm not mistaken. And if I'm literally looking down to the core in regards with this, Jessica Kent. Jessica Kent basically actually just dug some detail with it, and then she actually used to be around Wes Watson for a time. You know what I'm saying? And she's actually just giving from her experience on how narcissistic and wicked this douchebag is. So, same on the people that chose to partake in his pseudo fitness programs, that was his website is really no longer active, and because of this whole matter. But this is the huge consequence when you think you really changed, but all that stuff is not really the money and the fame that's the issue. It's really the personality that he has not really changed much based on his mindset. It's actually really exposed who he mainly is down the line and on how narcissistic and how wicked Wes Watson really is, and how he's fleecing on many of you young men and young boys, okay, in regards to his nonsense. He's literally profiting off of you, and I would not be surprised if homeboy over here actually lost a bunch of his money literally trying to fight all these cases over the years, actually trying to deal with lawyers and actually trying to get things off. Whether he guilty or not, his life not going to be the same, and his image is going to literally be permanently tainted out as a result of his fuckery, just for literally being, I stand corrected, I misspoke, literally being a pseudo guru.